What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning back in if you're coming off episode 16, and thank you for tuning in the first place if you're just jumping in cold. So Jeffrey and I are going to be doing some spoilerific thoughts on Uncharted: The Lost Legacy because A, Miguel didn't finish it, and B, Miguel had to go to school anyways. So it's just me and Jeffrey right now. So let's just jump right into it. So what did you think of the big old Sam Drake twist?
All right, so let me know if you thought the same thing. So first I see Sam, he's working for Asav, and I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe they didn't even get Troy. Maybe Sam's just over there and like
maybe you see his character model, but he's not actually in it.
You just see him, yeah, he's not actually in the game. When they actually brought him in what was it, chapter 8 or 7? And it was when you meet him in the tomb. So it was at the end of the Lost Legacy. I'm looking at the chapter list right now. At the end of 7.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Amazing. I think that was such a good way. I think he worked so well in that spot, and that was such a great way of tying him in. Because throughout, especially chapter 4, when they're in the car, tons of like nods to
It was a little foreshadowing where Chloe's like, I don't really know Sam, but I know Nate.
Yeah, right. I love that. By the I
kind of like felt that foreshadowing. I was like, that's a little
weird. No, I'm saying like this whole like retcon of the Uncharted series where it's like, oh yeah, of course Nate always had a
Sam
brother.
Was always there when he wasn't.
Yeah. But no, I thought when he showed up that was so cool. Really, it worked so well with the story because I thought like, wait a minute, this makes no sense. Nadine just tried killing him.
Okay.
But then they totally addressed that also.
Let's back it up for a second. So in episode 16 proper of the PS Best Friends podcast, I stated this game, not DLC, this game should have been called Uncharted 4: The Lost Legacy. Now, of course, there's the surface level. Well, Sam Drake is in it, so he's attached to Uncharted 4, and so is Nadine. What I thought, it's similar to, I don't even know what to compare. So pretty much, I thought it was a natural extension of Uncharted 4, where you can play this game totally standalone. You could play Uncharted 4 standalone, but if you play both of these games, this game just feels like it's part of the Uncharted 4 story. Obviously, Nate's out of it, and Miguel was making the argument it's not about Nathan Drake, so therefore don't call it Uncharted 4. But Nate kind of is there. He's not physically, like literally there, but it's kind of like, well, Nate is the reason Nadine lost Shoreline. I mean, it's also Sam, but it's also Nate a lot. I mean, Sam was a big part of Uncharted 4, and this fleshes him out even more. Chloe, of course, wasn't part of Uncharted 4, so that aspect of this game is, I'm guessing, why they called it Uncharted Lost Legacy and not Uncharted 4 Lost Legacy. They probably wanted to emphasize Chloe's story. But I think they could have easily called it Uncharted 4 Lost Legacy, and it would have fit, because it tied up a lot of Nadine's story with Shoreline, especially with, what was it, Orca?
I love that. I love that. The only reason I know his name is because he's in the multiplayer.
Yep. I thought the same exact thing. I was like, that's definitely something you did not tell us in Uncharted 4 proper.
Right, they definitely didn't. I feel like that was another one of the nods to the fans. The whole game really has, and we'll get into that. But just these little like wicked nods to the fan, like Uncharted fans, where it's like, oh yeah, now we're actually addressing Orca, the motherfucker we put in the multiplayer.
So I was like, you definitely did not mention his name. And then when Sam is like, yeah, I remember that guy, and I was like, I don't.
Yeah. He was the chief or something, whatever.
The guy with the mullet, he said, right, something like that.
I see what you're saying though. In terms of, I get what you're saying for the Uncharted 4 argument.
It's because it's a natural extension of it. You know what I mean? Like you can play it on its own, but it is Uncharted 4 weighs very heavily on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It does work perfectly with it. And
I'm okay with it not being called Uncharted 4. I just think you could have added that to it.
But yeah, so let's get back to what I was just saying. The little nods, what they did with the whole with the fucking thing that you put in front of the car. The winch. But after you did the first one, and I'm thinking to myself, I guess I didn't really have an issue with doing the winch thing. I think it looked cool because like the way
you only used it like 3 times maybe in this game.
Yeah, no, because even in Uncharted 4, like the way it worked, it wasn't you just hold triangle by thing and then hold triangle by the tree and then video games happen. it's and like then it automatically just attaches like how
You
like
have to walk around the
you have to
tree,
walk
click it
around
on, go
it
back
and
into
then
the
it clicks on.
car,
It has really
reverse it.
every animation involved. So I like whenever there is a winch part, I just like marveling at like the detail in it. But yeah, this time around, after like the second time, Nadine's like, "Oh, I got it for you." There's even like jokes about the rope, like "Oh, can I use your rope now?" or something, or like next time bring your own rope.
Yeah, I
I-
love how they just went all in with all of the stuff that they added into Uncharted 4. Like, what was the little like rock pick thing? And
that
like
was cool.
that's
That
just
was added.
like a little convenient, you know what I mean? And the sliding thing, and it's like, see, why were there so many fucking sliding sections? There was too many sliding sections, too
Yeah,
many, way too, and they were all exactly the same too. Like they looked exactly the same. There was no need for that many.
Uncharted
Um,
4 had that one that I didn't really like. It
so
was
let me get
later
my
in the game,
nitpicks out of
but
the way because I don't want to sound like a downer. So I want to say them first so that I can then say the more things that I liked about it. Um, I thought Chapter 4 went on a little long. It almost overstayed its welcome. I think that it hit that line where I was like about to be like, fuck this. And then it ended. And I was like, all right, you got me. But that said, it was almost the same. It was almost like a micro version of Madagascar from Uncharted 4 for me, with the driving around the Jeep in the open world section.
so now
That said,
you didn't go for the ruby, correct?
I did not. I didn't do any collectibles because I just wanted to run through the game. See, the thing is, I don't like the collectibles from Uncharted games because I feel like it just ruins my personal experience.
It's
It's like
completely
if I'm in
different
a
now.
hurry, like in game, in universe, if I'm getting chased by a bunch of bad guys, I'm not going to stop in a random room and be like, "Oh, let me find these little treasures." Like, no, I'm running through. Like,
Well, that's classic any trophy hunting in any narrative
but
game, you know,
especially
like
this game, like at least Tomb Raider, you pick up an item, there's like a narrated description about what it is and an in-lore description of why it's there. And in this game, it's literally just, oh, here's an item, press options to view it, and then it's just the item with a name, and that's
so
literally all it
I
is.
think it was fair enough. I don't like how the items are handled in all the charts, but the way this did it is you when you go up to the tower in chapter 4, you mark down the three temples, and then there's a question mark one. You go to the question
So
mark
that's
one,
where
then
you get the
no, that's not where you get it. Then you see a map in like an old like whatever old like treasure type thing, and it points out it's the same map that like your map is, and it points out 11 locations, and then we have like little circles now on your map, where all these are. You go to each one. Each one has a little its own environmental puzzle. One of them is there's like water sprouting, and you have to like jump on each one, and you're
yeah.
swinging below them, and then you get like a little trinket. You get all 11 trinkets, you bring it back to where that question mark was, and you get the ruby circlet, and then you wear it, and your controller vibrates whenever you're near a treasure. And it makes actually the treasure hunting that I didn't like in the first 4 games that you didn't even like much easier and much
Okay.
much more
I have a
fluid.
question for you that I actually wanted to ask Miguel too, but we just didn't have time on the episode. Do you play Uncharted? And now really think about this before you answer it, because you're going to just say, of course I do. Really think about it. Do you play Uncharted games because they're fun or because you like the cinematic experience? Because I thought about it and I was like, am I having fun with this game? And I don't think I so much had fun with it as much as I just was in awe of it and liked experiencing the story. You know what I mean? Like, do you see where I'm coming from? How do
I
you
feel
feel?
you. I feel you hard on that actually, because there are. I find the gameplay is very tight, and I do enjoy it. But sometimes it's like it happens a
Sometimes,
lot, especially in the past 2 games of 3 and 4, where it's like you would be above like a platform. It happened a lot in the area with the hand puzzle with the big with Ganesh or whatever.
yes. Oh my God,
Uh,
yes. See,
where
that's
you're like, oh, I could drop to this floor, right? And it's like right here, but then you drop and then you automatically die because you're not supposed to be there on that
See,
floor.
that's kind of what I'm getting at is and I'm not saying I don't have fun with the game. I wouldn't have finished it if I didn't have fun with it. I very much had fun with it. But all I'm saying is like there's just little things like that awesome train sequence at the end when like you're trying to run off the train. First of all, that whole sequence was A Fast and Furious movie, and B, Uncharted 2, which is fine
And
because it was
4,
fun.
did it not bother you? It was 2 and 4. I felt so weird in the whole thing. It was literally
It
just
was it was like they like to like it was like a greatest hits of Uncharted.
it was the
But
train
anyways,
sequence plus the fucking car sequence from
yeah, but
the
anyways,
Jeep
so
sequence.
that awesome scene where like it's falling off and you're trying to run past it, I was like, this is awesome. This is like watching a movie. And then Chloe got stuck on a thing, and like because the animation just didn't work right, and then I died, and I was like, oh, never mind. It could have been a cool moment. Now I have to do it again. Like there's just a lot of stuff like that where it's like jumps onto a wall weird, and I'm like, I expect this of not Uncharted. I expect this of Assassin's Creed, but Uncharted, it's like, come on,
Nah,
like
because those are just video game things. Because
the game is so immersive that anytime a little weird thing like that happens,
nine times out of 10, playtesters or whatever, they'd make that jump and it would look beautiful. There always is that one time I'm like,
I know,
at least
like
once
I said,
in every
it's
Uncharted,
nitpicks
I have that
because
like,
I wanted to get my nitpicks out of the way first. So
fair enough. But yeah, if we're doing nitpicks, I fucking hate the puzzles.
Oh my god, why is there always a light puzzle? Why is there always a light puzzle in every Uncharted game? Why?
When you have to move, torches when you have to move the things,
yeah, like
and had the shadow. It's like I got it, and I knew exactly where they need to go. It's like all right now, I
it's like it's not even that it was hard. It's just like I just didn't want to do it, you know. And Uncharted 3 with the torches too was so stupid too.
Yeah, the worst one I think though in Lost Legacy was probably the circular one. Oh no, this might have been actually needed for one of the 11 trinkets. It's a circle one, and you have to like move pieces from the left to the right. People will know what I'm talking about if they played it. I think it was for the trinket, so you probably missed it.
And also like the spinning wheels, and then you spin the inside one and it spins the other one the other way. And it's like I just hate that shit because it's just you're just tinkering with it until you get it. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like that's not why I play Uncharted, but I'm sure there's a lot of other people that are gonna get mad at me for saying that it's not brilliant.
So what did you like about it? What you like about it?
I really liked, and I mentioned this to you before, and you like borderline called me an SJW. Nice. But I really liked how they sort of half redesigned Chloe for current generation. Because if you look at Chloe from Uncharted 2 and 3, more so 2 really, but 3 a little bit too, she just looks just like a raven-haired British chick. And in this game, they kind of subtly made her look a little more Indian. But they didn't bring it up. I've never heard anyone in Dev Diaries say it or anything. You know what I mean? It was just done for the purpose of the story itself. You know what I mean? So I thought that was cool that I noticed it on my own.
By the way, they did change her face in terms of if you go back and look at so after you beat the game in the extras, you could buy like with the points that you get from playing the game, like exactly what Uncharted 4 did, concept art.
Yeah,
and one of the concept arts is Uncharted. It says like scribbled on the screen like Uncharted 4 DLC Chloe redesign, or like Chloe face, and it's 4 different pictures of her face, like slightly different than her old Uncharted 3 model, but like you could tell.
Can you send me a picture of that? Not right now or whenever.
It's in the game. I don't even know where I'd find it online. It's literally.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can you pull the game up, take a picture?
Oh, you don't have the game anymore. Yeah, I'll screenshot that. And send it.
But I thought that was a subtle little cool thing. I mean, it's not a massive deal. It's really not even a big deal at all. It was just a little thing that I was like, that's cool of them to really be paying attention to what they're doing.
Yeah. And then I guess about the character, Chloe. You watch PS Best Friend's YouTube video on Uncharted Lost Legacy's review. She completely stole the show. She was amazing. She had the perfect amount of wit and like
she had levity too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought the performance was very, very subdued's maybe the wrong word. I know it was a very, very good performance.
It was on point, and that's really what a Uncharted protagonist needs. The series could continue, but at no point do I want to see some straight edge like character be the protagonist in an Uncharted game, because it wouldn't really make sense. They have to have.
No, I mean, of course, you want a flawed character as your protagonist in any game, really, but especially Uncharted because it's so cinematic and so story driven. I have to care about the story with her father and the little trinket thing.
But I'm saying, like, I don't think if hypothetically, let's say, what's Nathan Drake's daughter's name?
I don't remember.
Elise, Charlie, I don't know. Like if their daughter, hypothetically, let's say, was personality-wise more Elena than Drake, I don't think she would be a good protagonist. I feel like she would have to have that Nathan Drake personality. Even Chloe had the personality pretty much like to a T in terms of like Cassie. Yeah, Sam has it as well.
See, I think I liked Nadine enough. Like, she wasn't ever annoying.
I didn't like Nadine. I thought Nadine was terrible. I thought Nadine was such a bore.
Okay. I thought she was fine up until once you start doing the in chapter 4, every time you would like end each of the 3 like major points, and they would have the little conversation like when the water started pouring out. That's really when her story kind of got going for me. And then once Sam showed up, she started playing off Sam, I thought, pretty well. And then Sam, of course, Troy Baker is Troy Baker. He's going to steal the show in anything he's in. But I thought he was good as Sam. I do feel like I noticed that it was Troy Baker more than I did when, like, I felt like it felt more like Sam Drake in Uncharted 4. I felt like it was a little bit more Troy Baker than Sam Drake in this game, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It also could be that I just listened to Troy Baker on a podcast, and
probably.
Maybe I had his voice fresh in my head, so maybe that's what it was.
So now let's talk villains. What do you think about Asaf?
I feel like he's getting a real lot of shit online. I didn't think he was bad.
I didn't see he was getting shit. I thought he was pretty cool.
I thought he was fine. I don't think he's the best villain of any Uncharted game. I think Rafe probably is my favorite.
I don't really get his motive.
Well, he was trying to steal the tusk. He's trying to steal the tusk to sell it for a bomb to blow up a city to rally his people.
Okay, I get. Yeah, so he's going for like the way more like diabolical, evil villain type plot, like that type of.
But motive. I thought the performance was good. That's the thing.
I thought the performance was great. I like the character design was really cool. This like sophisticated looking guy, but that could like roll up his sleeves, you know.
I do feel like he was just like the Indian version of Rafe, though, even with like the hair, you know. Like towards the end when you're beating the shit out of him on the train and his hair kind of flips over, and I was like, that's what Rafe's hair did in the boat.
Rafe's whole spiel is that he was like a pretty boy, and I don't think.
Yeah. I just mean from the sense of like he's trying to spend a lot of money to get the thing he's after.
Yeah,
I thought Asaf was fine. I didn't think he was the best villain.
I like him.
What's your favorite Uncharted villain?
Ooh, Catherine's great, just because Marlowe. Catherine is his first name.
Yeah, Catherine Marlowe.
Just because I was
kind of a punk, but I liked Marlowe though.
I liked how much she went like to Nathan's psyche. Where I
kind of wish they did more with her, to be honest. Like I almost kind of wish they didn't kill her.
That's why they killed her in the end. I totally forgot.
She died in the sand, like she drowned in the sand. It was like sinking sand.
Maybe I don't know. So, there's some parts of
and then
Uncharted games are so weird in my memory. They're always like I just remember like random segments of them.
See, I
never remember
Flynn,
them in their whole.
And then Flynn got punked like Bane did.
Flynn was so
I liked
like
Flynn.
He was cute, like in the sense that like he was kitschy, but then like I don't know.
Yeah, but he's stereotypical. Like he was like what was 006 Sean Bean in GoldenEye? Like he was like that. He was basically that character. I don't know why I can't remember the name of 006.
Never saw GoldenEye.
What?
Yeah, right. Pierce Brosnan. I don't think I've ever seen besides Casino Royale, maybe on fucking like TV.
Probably on Esquire.
But so Lost Legacy environment, it looked so beautiful.
The thing I love about Uncharted games, and especially 4 and this, just because they're on the same engine, is when you're climbing something. A lot of other games that do similar stuff, like I haven't played the most recent 2 Assassin's Creeds, but before that, those were guilty of this, and some other game. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but a lot of times you'll be climbing something, or you'll be on the top of something, like on the top of a building or something, and you'll look around and it's kind of empty, or it's kind of blocky, or it's, you know what I mean? Like there's like a very low, like what's the word? Like a draw distance. In Uncharted, if you're climbing something and you look around, there's always something beautiful in the background while you're moving it around, and it's all rendered in the game. You know what I mean? Except for maybe clouds. I don't know about that, but that's what I love about Uncharted games, is that no matter what you're doing, and I mean the angles are always so cinematic when you're climbing stuff. The vistas are of course going to be gorgeous. It's it's an Uncharted game.
And the attention to detail on the climbing, whenever you jump on someone else's back, like when those happen like twice this game, and
like much more. You and Nadine like climb over Sam.
You zoom in, you go into photo mode, you zoom in, and there's no clipping really. Their hands are on, like it all makes sense. It all like
like they're not passing through each other or anything.
Yeah, like it all works. It's so perfect. It's honestly amazing. I guess photo mode. You played any photo mode? You played a photo mode at all? No?
A little bit. I took maybe like 3 or 4 pictures. I didn't go crazy. If I had more time, I would have.
Yeah. Like a couple moments where it's like, oh, I'm gonna make this photo, and then like I put a little bit of each effect on just to be a little spicy, But yeah, any closing thoughts on? I think it was an amazing game. More of these, please. If I could get one of these style adventures every 2 years,
I would say every 3 years. Every 3 years, so it's long enough in between that it's a nice break. Because I don't think we're getting an Uncharted 5 anytime soon.
I think the only reason it came so close to Uncharted 4 is because it was off the same Uncharted 4 engine. And
well, that and they knew they were going to be working on some kind of DLC, and then it ended up turning into something bigger than they thought.
But like,
question for you: I don't know if you know, because Uncharted 2 with the train sequence wasn't it on a loop? Like
it was on a loop, yeah.
In game, like
it was on a less loop. Uncharted Lost Legacies was a less smaller loop, but I saw the same carts were looping.
Okay, because I was curious about it because I knew that for Uncharted 2. I was kind of curious about that.
I mean, it seemed like a loop to me. If fucking one of them comes out right now and says like, no, actually, we had some random generated thing where no cart was the same, that'd be really cool.
But I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about the track itself. Because wasn't the track looped in Uncharted 2?
Oh, you mean the surroundings?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, it wasn't looped in that case then. Because
I gotta reread what exactly they did for Uncharted 2 stream.
Because you could
maybe
tell
I'm
the
thinking
difference.
of the wrong thing. Someone hit us up on Facebook and clarify.
Uncharted 2 would loop if you aren't moving forward, if I recall correctly.
Okay, that's what it was.
Whereas this, it's pretty much it seemed that as long as you're on the train and surviving, the train was going to get somewhere at some point. That's what it seemed though. It seemed much more like that.
And do you think there was a point where you would just die? Like it would force the game to it would force like an NPC to kill you at a certain point if you weren't moving forward enough or something. Like it was scripted that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give someone
or that at some point it would force you to jump off, and because at one point, like you remember when the thing was like hanging on the side.
Oh yeah, but that was when you were fighting Asab though, I think.
Yeah.
Because remember then Nadine's fighting him while you're doing that, and she's like, "Gotta go up, oh, gotta drop down."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I'm not the biggest fan of the
Billy.
punch out combat. You?
What?
I'm not a biggest fan of this punch out esque combat that they did with Rafe.
I'm okay with it when it's used sparingly for cinematic effect. I'm okay with it. But if you overuse it, like it was only used really for the fight against Asav in Chapter 5, right? And then the fight, and then the end fight against Asav. I was okay with it. I do feel like the story ended a little abruptly. And in that sense, you can kind of tell that it was meant to be a DLC originally. Because it didn't have the wrap up that Uncharted 4 did, but Uncharted 4 was also like a 16-hour game.
Yeah, they kind of just got to Tusk, and then
they're like, let's stare at the sunset, and then it panned out, and then it went to credits, and then
the pizza scene was cool. You guys are kidding, right?
The pizza scene was cute. A little unnecessary, but it was cute.
More games got to start doing that. The MCU after credit shit.
Dude, it was totally a Fast and Furious movie. That's the thing. Is this game was a Fast and Furious movie. It was awesome. It was fun. Chapter 4 dragged a little bit because of the open world nature, but after Chapter 4, I thought it went pretty. You can kind of get through it straight through if you have the time to just kind of sit. It was I don't know, probably 8 hours total for me, 7-8 hours.
Yeah, so, the in-game clock's at around 7:30 for me.
So I don't know. Is there any other spoilery stuff we want to talk about here that we can't talk about?
I don't think so. I think we got a good 20 minutes.
Sam, I thought Sully was going to show up at one point with a boat or something.
That'd be fun.
Where he rescued them at the very end. Like that's all he does. He just shows up and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And then you leave.
Yeah.
So,
but I like how it handled bringing Sam in. That he was working for him,
and also it made it part of. And also like the shoreline stuff was kind of trite, but I thought it worked. Like as far as
what do you think about it having the classic Uncharted cliches where it's like, oh, the secret isn't here, it's actually there, and then then the partner being pissed off like, oh, but you told me it's not here.
I don't know. I
think it worked in the sense that like it's Uncharted game. You know,
if it was a full 16-hour Uncharted game, and they pulled out again 11 hours, and then they're like, oh, I guess we got to go somewhere else. I would have been like, fuck, I thought it was at the end of the game. But at least with this game, it's like the hidden city was only like around the corner. If they didn't have to go across the world to get to the hidden city, you know what I mean? So I was okay with it in that sense when they revealed like where the Tusk actually was.
Word up.
So. All right. So in your review, what did you rate this game?
So So I definitely said, if you already own Uncharted 4 and like you've put enough time, like a lot into that multiplayer, then the $40 is a little steep because like you already have the multiplayer, and you're just pretty much paying $40 for the campaign. But if you don't have Uncharted 4, buy Uncharted 4 first of all. But if you're not Uncharted 4, it is 100% worth. This package is definitely worth $40, or even no better, if you rented Uncharted 4 or played Uncharted 4 somewhere, and then you sold the disc, so you don't have access to that multiplayer. The $40 is 100% worth the buy. If
Well, because it's
not,
the complete multiplayer experience,
it's
right?
the
Like you
complete
get all
multiplayer
the
suite.
DLC
The
for the
exact
multiplayer.
same thing, literally. Your points carry over, rank carries over. It's the same exact thing, actually. My system actually thought I was playing Uncharted 4, so that's how it works.
That it happened to be at first. It gave me the Uncharted 4 trophies originally, and then it
No, yeah,
then it
that's
cleared
what it does.
itself up. And
But if you're just buying it for the 8 hours, I'd recommend waiting for a sale, maybe even $30. It's worth $30, 100%. So if you have some,
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I agreed with it. Go
rewards
check out
card of
Jeffrey's
some
review.
sort.
I really
Yeah.
did agree with pretty much everything you said. I can't think of anything specifically I didn't agree with. So go check that out on YouTube. And this is probably going to do it. Any other thoughts? Or
I think that's about it.
yeah, and maybe we'll have Miguel hop in with some stuff at the end of next episode if he beats it by then. But who knows, because Call of Duty is having another beta this weekend. So, but this has been the PS Best Friends Uncharted Lost Legacy spoiler episode. Thanks for tuning in. Let us know what you thought of Uncharted, but please don't spoil it on the group. Or if you're going to post spoilers, do the thing where it's like spoilers in the comments, and then that, whatever that type of deal is on Facebook. I don't know how to do social media. Because I'm an old man, apparently. Jeffrey's making a weird face. We will catch you later.
Peace.